Today I'm extremely excited to share our brand new plugin at Kive Audio, KStrip. Now, just over a year ago, we released what would be our biggest plugin release ever, Infuse. And if you've used that one, you'll quickly see that these are in the same family of modular plugins. By breaking this channel strip into 3 modules, you can now select between 3 of the world's most popular analog consoles for preamp, EQ, and compressor modules of this plugin, allowing you to essentially build your dream channel strip for each track of the mix. Without any further delay, let's jump into the plugin and go over all the main controls so that you can get a feel for how this plugin works. So when you first open the window, you'll see the standard Kive Audio top bar, which will have the Kive logo where you can access your license information and updates. Next to that, we'll have the preset menu, which we've packed with a ton of presets, as well as the plugin-wide input and output knob for gain staging. Besides that, we have the oversampling, the A/B, and the undo and redo, as well as the plugin settings and UI size, all of which are standard across all of our plugins. And now onto the meat and potatoes of the plugin, which is the main modules. Across the top of each plugin, you'll have this N, A, and S switch, which you can either click for the drop-down menu or just click through the arrows and select. And this allows you to select between the 3 different console emulations we've created. After that, you can go from mono to stereo to mid-side for complete flexibility across each of the modules. If you go into mid-side or in dual mono, all you have to do is click on these, where you can either link the sides or unlink them. Keep in mind, another great feature of this is that you can actually drag and drop the module's order so that you have complete flexibility over the signal path. So no matter what you're mixing, you have a ton of options here to get the perfect sound. So now let's start with the preamp module, which is where you're going to get most of your color and saturation. At the top, you have these odd and even switches, which allows you to add the second or third harmonics to the modeled saturation, but of course leaving them at 0 is the most true to the sound of the hardware that was modeled. Below that's going to be your main control for saturation, which also has a linked trim knob. This allows you to go from really subtle to completely over the top and distorted. Each of the 3 preamps are incredibly powerful, so it's really important to try them out as you learn this plugin and see which sounds best on the different elements of your mix. Now let's flip through some of the saturation modes with aggressive settings so you can hear how they break up differently from each other across the same source. Now realistically, you'll probably dial things back a bit from there, but you can do that either with the mix knob or you can use the dedicated sidechain filters down here at the bottom. The next module to the right is the EQ, which in my opinion is really where this plugin starts to shine. Each of the 3 EQs work and shape sounds so differently that it really just gives you about any option you need right in front of you. One of my favorite things about this EQ is that with each band you have the ability to solo the frequency and hear exactly what it sounds like that you're pushing. This is great for pulling out a snare ring or adding sheen to a vocal and being able to check that the band you're boosting is actually smooth and not harsh on the ears. It just really helps being able to hear exactly what you're doing, especially with an analog EQ that you really are only working with your ears. Past that, each of the bands have their own main frequency and gain controls, and the SEQ is the only console with Q adjustment, as that's how the hardware is that we modeled. And below all the bands, you also have an additional high pass and low pass filter available to you. Now let's hear the 3 EQs against each other with some aggressive settings to really hear the differences in curves. And onto the final of the 3 modules, which is the compressor and limiter section. In this area, you'll find 3 wildly different sounding compression circuits, each with their own strong suits. Personally, for more transient heavy material, I'll usually rock with the A or the S compression, whereas something I want to get heavy glue on, I'll go for the more warmer, slower compression of the N compressor. Each of the 3 compressor modules has the basic threshold and ratio controls, which tells your compressor when to start compressing and how hard respectively. Below that are the attack and release controls, which are variable between the 3 units, each with a slightly different timing that come with a unique character. Next, we have the makeup gain for general gain staging, as well as the gain reduction meter and blend and sidechain filters for the compressor module. Now let's dial in a quick drum compression sound, and then we'll hear it across all 3 of the units on a more aggressive setting. And then now onto those aggressive settings. Now that we've gone through all the individual modules of the plugin, we can go to the master channel, which is where you can do all the global controls for each track. At the top, we have your stereo width controls, as well as the input-output meter, and you also have a polarity control to flip the phase. And below that is the new secret weapon, the gate and the transient shaper. Inside of the gate, you'll find all of your standard controls like the threshold, attack and release, hold, but you also have a look ahead function, which allows you to make sure that there's no misses or pops when the gate isn't quick enough. This is perfect for live drums. And then finally, inside of the transient shaper, you have 3 simple controls: attack, sustain, and output, which allows you to get that last bit of processing before or after the channel strip. As with the gate and the transient shaper, you have the ability to change where it falls in the signal flow. This plugin was an insane thing to build, and we are super excited to finally share this one with you all. We really can't wait to see what you all create with it. Be sure to tag us on social media so we can see. Thanks for watching this overview of KStrip. Be sure to go download the free trial and give it a go yourself on your next mixing project.